Hello, good evening, and I'm back, y'all. Certainly, thank you for tuning in to Poem Praise 2. We're going to keep it moving right along in the extraordinary African Americans. Now we're on Richard Allen. He's a religious leader and was against slavery, also, just like Miss Freeman. And the time period that he was born in is 1760 to 1831. And these are some words from him. We were stolen from our mother country and brought here. We have tilled the ground and made fortunes for thousands. Not hundreds, but thousands. I'm going to let what Richard Allen said, I'm going to let that sink in. Made fortunes for thousands. Now let's read right along. One morning in November 1787, Richard Allen and two friends, Absalom Jones and William White, were pulled from their knees while praying in St. George's Church in Philadelphia, and told that because they were black, they must stay in the rear of the gallery. Rather than do this, the three men walked out, followed by other African American members of the congregation. Now, Allen was born a slave in Philadelphia and sold along with his family to Mr. Stockley in Dover, Delaware. While living with the Stockleys, Allen taught himself to read and write and began attending Methodist church meetings. Working as a day laborer and bricklayer, he managed to save enough money to purchase his freedom in 1783. Certainly a man with a plan, right? Now, for the next few years, Allen traveled with the Methodist minister and was occasionally allowed to preach to mixed congregations. Returning to Philadelphia in 1786, he began holding prayer meetings for African American congregations. Shortly afterward, the incident at St. George's took place. Now, following the walkout, Allen and Jones organized the Free African it states here, the Free African Society, a group that opposed slavery and laid plans for the construction of an African American church. Now, their plans were interrupted, however, when a serious yellow fever epidemic hit Philadelphia, killing hundreds of people. Allen and Jones arranged for members of the city's African American community to serve as nurses and undertakers. Now, after the epidemic had run its course, Allen continued with his plans for an African American church. Working as a shoemaker, he saved enough money to buy a lot and begin construction. On July 17th, 1794, the Bethel African Methodist Church was founded. In 1816, Bethel cut its ties to the Methodist Church. By uniting Bethel with other African Methodist churches, Allen helped create the African Methodist Church, AME. He became its first bishop. Eventually, it would include thousands of members throughout the country and become a national organization. In 1795, Allen opened a school for African American children. He also led the African American community in petitioning the Pennsylvania legislature to abolish slavery. Now, when the British threatened to invade Philadelphia in 1812, he and Absalom Jones helped raise 2,500 African American troops to defend the city. Now, churches became a vital part of African American life in the United States. They provided a training ground for African American leaders and unified the efforts of the African American communities to oppose slavery and racial discrimination. Now, this tradition of community involvement continues today. Now, during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s, African American ministers and their congregation took the lead in supporting efforts to end racial segregation. Now, as a result, many black churches were dynamited. Let me get that correct. Not dynamic. They were dynamited. So they done lit some dynamite or some fire bombs. Now you just gonna go to the churches and start setting some churches on fire. For real? That's how you feel? Now, but the African American church has always prevailed. Thanks in part to men like Richard Allen. Certainly would like to thank you for tuning in. We're going to keep it flowing. I'm telling you, we going to get through this book, I'm trying to tell you. But certainly have a wonderful evening, well off into the morning. If it be in thy will, I will be speaking with you soon. So I'll let y'all later. All right now.